Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad Hughesby, and we have another sad video today. Jay Wright has announced that he will be stepping down from Villanova. He will be heading into retirement. I think he's going to do TV as well, but he's going to take it slow. Jay Wright, incredible 21 years. I believe that's the specific number of years he's been at Villanova as Villanova's head coach. Kyle Neptune will be replacing him, who was Villanova's lead assistant back in 2016 and 2018 and up until the 2020 season. And then he was announced the Fordham men's basketball head coach last spring. He coached at Fordham for 1 year, and he took Fordham from 2-12 to 16-16. So I'm all in on Kyle Neptune, Josh Hart, Brunson, Mikal Bridges. A ton of these former players, Arcidiacono, Shefu, have nothing but phenomenal things to say about Neptune. He seems like the guy everyone wanted for the gig. And I have to say, if you're a Villanova fan, you had to expect this at least in some capacity. Jay Wright's getting older. He sold his house just about a year ago, right before the season started, so maybe half a year ago. There were some rumors 2 off seasons ago that he might go to the Knicks when they had a head coaching position open. And Sixers, once upon a time, there have always been murmurs about him and the league. I never fully bought those. I thought he would stick it out of Villanova until the end. He was never a guy to jump to something. I think he really, really liked where he was at Villanova, and there was nothing really higher for him. I mean, Villanova is one of the elite teams in the country. I don't think he would want to go anywhere else. Of course, people point, UNC, Duke, UCLA, Arizona, Virginia, all the blue bloods. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. Jay Wright, I think, considered Villanova blue blood, and I think he turned them into one. When he got the gig, he was coming from Bucknell, small school, just like Neptune. I believe they're in the same conference as Fordham, actually. And he just took it steady. His philosophy early in his career was to get them back on track. Guys, it took him 21 years. He didn't win a national championship until year 16. So it took him a while. Early was just to compete in the Big East. Then he took them to the Final Four in 2009. Might have been Elite Eight. Sorry, I was 4 years old at the time. But then I remember in the early 2010s, recruited at an elite level. Got a few 5 stars, high 4 stars, but they weren't culture fits. And then he landed Arcidiacono, which was probably the biggest recruiting get of all time for Villanova. Arcidiacono was a pretty high 4-star. He was from Pennsylvania and was highly considering Florida. This is probably my favorite recruiting story of all time. Came home from his Florida official visit. Billy Donovan was coaching the Gators back then, and he told his parents he was going to Florida. Well, both of his parents went to Villanova. His mom and his sister started crying. They really wanted him to go to Villanova. And, after thinking about it some more, he said, I will go to Villanova. Named a 4-year captain, which is just phenomenal. He was a captain as a freshman, guys. That speaks volumes. Daniel Shefu, big number 23 there, was one of his good buddies. Those two dominated the court for their 4 years. Guys like Josh Hart came along, Mikal Bridges, Phil Booth, Eric Paschal, just so many talented players. Jalen Brunson probably had one of the more dominant career. I think he was Jay Wright's best player. Arcidiacono is the typical Villanova player. When people are like, Colin Gillespie this, Arcidiacono was Colin Gillespie 1.0. Colin Gillespie is Ryan Arcidiacono 2.0, if that makes sense. He's the second coming of Arch. There will never be a more Villanova player than Arch, in my opinion. Colin Gillespie was close, but no one can do what the master did. As we watch Arcidiacono here, he's my favorite player of all time, and I think he's Jay Wright's go-to guy. Just thinking back on some of these greats. I mean, Chris Jenkins hit the big shot, but Arcidiacono made the pass. Daniel Shefu mopped the court. Just so many great memories. And I'm showing the 2016 game just because this was the quintessential Villanova game. 1985 would have been a great example as well, but of course, Jay Wright wasn't the head coach at that time. It was Rolly Massimino. But just a sad day for Villanova fans. Just a sad day. Jay Wright, brought Villanova to 2 national championship games, won both of them, 2016 and 2018. He took the Cats to multiple Final Fours, including this past year. Now, I don't know what really was the deciding factor. Some people are saying NIL, name, image, and likeness. College players can get paid now through boosters and stuff. The transfer portal is huge. But Jay Wright, I mean, he used the transfer portal. Caleb Daniels came from Tulane. Eric Paschal came from Fordham. He's absolutely not against it. But I just think with the way college basketball is evolving, he's done what he's wanted to do. Some people point out they weren't going to be as good next year anyways. He wanted to end it on a high note. Maybe. This is the first year you haven't had a set point guard in place since probably, 2014, 2015. You went from Arch to Brunson, and then you went to Brunson to Gillespie, and it was pretty flawless throughout those guys. Now, who's it going to be? I was hoping a big transfer guy would come into the portal, but not really. So Mark Armstrong is a true freshman. Angelo Brizzi is a sophomore. We'll see what happens, but this is going to be probably, I don't want to say a rebuilding year, because if everyone returns, I mean, you're going to have Caleb Daniels, Justin Moore, Eric Dixon, Brandon Slater. Those are 4 really, really high-quality players. Now, you need a point guard, and we'll see who they get or who they go with. But at the end of the day, it's a very talented team. So I don't know if I buy that. But Jay Wright has to be remembered as a great, no doubt about it. And Kyle Neptune, I think, is going to do some good things. I like Neptune. I think he was the best hire. Honestly, the only other college coach I would want other than Jay Wright is probably Tony Bennett from Virginia. He's the only guy that I think really fits Villanova, would recruit the right kids. I marvel what he's done in Charleston with UVA, in Charlottesville. But at the end of the day, Jay Wright is forever probably the GOAT at Villanova. Maybe Rolly Massimino, because he got him over the hump, the first 8 seed to win, yada, yada. But just bizarre. Just bizarre what Jay Wright's accomplished. And he will always be remembered as one of the greats. So that's all I got for you guys. Pretty wild night, pretty emotional night for me. This has been just crazy. I mean, I don't think anyone could have drawn this up or expected to play out this way. But one thing I want to end it on, and I'm not dissing Coach K in any way, but Coach K had a farewell tour at all the schools he went to. He got innovation. And, of course, he had his big speech, which I really marveled at when all of his past players came, and it was a whole ordeal against their loss to UNC, funny enough. But Jay Wright didn't do that. Jay Wright ended it the night before the Villanova basketball banquet. He'll probably have a nice long speech tomorrow night, and that'll be it. He'll go on to television. He didn't need a big show. He just wanted to end it on a random Wednesday night in April, which I love. I think that's amazing. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.